Okay, first of all, for the 405 multiples here, uh, the only possible numbers is 9, 9, and 5, so we can straight away fill in the number. And then for the 90 multiples here, there must be a 5 there because the result of the multiple is ends with 0. Okay, so make a note here. And then with a 5 here, we are left with 18, and to get 18, we have 6, 3 or 9, 2, but we have a 9 at the same row, so it must be 6, 3, and 5. And then for the 480 multiple here, there must be a 5 as well, but since we have 2 5 at the second and third last row, so there must be a 5 here. Okay, and then for the 15 plus here, we have used the 9 at the same row, so we are left with 8 and 7 only. And then looking at the second last row, we have used 5, 7, 8, and 9, so we are left with 2, 3, 4, and 6. 6 cannot be 1 minus here, so 6 must be here. Okay. And looking at the third last row, we have used 3, 5, 6, and 9, so we are left with 2, 4, 7, and 8. And to get a true divide here, there must be a 4 here. But we don't know it's 2, 4 or 8, 4. Okay? But there must be a 4 there. And then looking at the 480 multiple here, we have 6 and 5 already, so we have 30. And 480 divided by 30, we will get 16. And to get 16, we have 8 true or 4, 4. But we have a 4 here. Okay. Yeah, we have a 4 here. So it must be 8 and 2. But 8 is present in the second last row, so 8 must be here. And then we have 2 and 6 at the second last row. So the 1 minus should be 3 and 4. And then for the true divides here, it must be 2 and 4 because we have used the 8 at the same row. And then looking at the third last row, we have 7 here and 2 here. Okay. And then for the 15 multiple, it can only be 5 and 3. And for 21 multiple, it can be 7 and 3, but we have a 3 for the 15 multiple there. So here must be 7, here must be 3. Okay, and then for the 18 multiple, since we have used 3 in both rows, here and here, okay, so the only possibility is 9 and 2. It cannot not be 6 and 3. Okay, and since we have a 2 here, so we can fill in the number 9 and 2. And then for the 17 plus, it can only be 9 and 8. Okay, so since we have just filled in the 9, so here must be 9, here must be 8. Okay, and looking at the last row, no, looking at the fourth last row, we are left with 4 and 6. Okay, 6 cannot be here because if 6 is here, here must be 2, but we have a 2 at the same row. Okay, Okay, so 6 must be here, and 4 must be here. So here will be 8, and here will be 4. And then for the true 6 here, since we have a true at the second last column, so we can fill in the true at 6. So, yeah. And then looking at the last row, for to get the 9 plus, we only have 7 and 2 because we cannot use 5, 4 and 6, 3. So we have a 2 at the second last column. So here must be 7, here must be 2. And then to get the 13 plus, we only can use 9 and 4 because we cannot use 7, 6 or 8, 5. And because we have a 9 here, so here will be 9, here will be 4. And then we are left with 3, 6 and 8 for the 144 multiple. Okay. And then for the 22 plus here, we must use a 9 because 8 plus 7 plus 6 can only get 21. Okay, so here must be a 9. And since for this 15 plus, since we have 9 and 9 here, and so we only can use 8 and 7 for this 15 plus. Okay, and looking at the first column, okay, 7 cannot be here because we don't have a 1. So there must be a 7 here. But we have a 7 at the first row. So here will be 7. Yeah. And then looking at the 3 divides here, since we have used 2 and 6 at the same column, so we only have the choice 3, 9. Okay. And then for the 6, 3 and 5 here, we can fill in the 6, 3 and 5 already. Okay. 6 can only be here, 5 must be here, 3 must be here. And then 8 and 7 also the same. Here must be 8, here must be 7. Okay, looking at this column, here must be 7. And then for this 22 plus, the only possibility are 8, 6, 9, 8, 6 or 8, no, 9, 8, 5 or 9, 7, 6. Okay, so if we use 7 and 6, then 7 must be here. Okay, No. Um, okay. Looking at the first column, we are left with 2, 3, and 6. Okay. Since 2 cannot be at the last row, so if we consider 2 here, then these two numbers must be added up to 8. But the possibilities are 5 and 3. But we have a 5 and 3 here. So there cannot be 5 and 3 at the same column here. Okay. And 6 and 2 also not possible because we have a 2 here. So we have no possible number if we were to put the 2 here. So 2 must be at the first row. And then here will be 6. And then for the first column, we are left with 3 and 6. But we cannot put the 6 here because these two numbers must be added up to 4, but we don't have a 1. We cannot use 1 and 3. Okay, so here must be a 3. So here must be a 6. And having a 3 here, these two numbers must be added up to 7. We cannot use 6. We cannot use 6 and 1. We have no 1. We cannot use 4 and 3 because we have a 3 here. So the only possible numbers are 5 and 2. So we can straight away fill in the number because we have a 2 here. Okay. Yeah. So next up, the 5 must be here, 3 must be here, and having a 3 here, the 3 at the last row must be here. So here we 8, and having an 8 at the second column. So here must be 7, here must be 8. Okay. So for the 22 plus, it can only be 976. And since we have 7 at the second row and third row, so 7 must be here. And 6 cannot be at the second row, so 6 will be here, 9 will be here. For this true file, also can fill in the numbers. Same goes to 3, 4. And here will be 6. And looking at this column, we are left with 2, 3, and 5. But we have 2 2s at the first row and third row, so 2 must be here. And then 3 is at the third row, so 3 must be at the first row. Here is 5. Okay, so we can fill in the 3 and 9 here. Yeah, here will be 5. We have no 1. And here will be 8 to get 22. So here will be 4. And then here will be 8 and 9, because we are having a 9 at the second last column. 4 and 5 will be here, because we have a 5 at the last column. Here will be 4 and here will be 6. Yeah. That's all how I solve this puzzle. Thank you.